The day city dwellers looked up. The morning started like any other in downtown Tokyo. Businessmen hurried to their offices, students rushed to their classes, and street vendors prepared their stalls for the day ahead. That was until the shadows fell. At precisely 9:47 a.m. local time, massive extraction warships positioned themselves strategically above Earth's major cities. Their vessels, stretching 20 kilometers in length, created artificial eclipses that plunged metropolises into an otherworldly twilight. Dr. Isabella Santos was in the middle of a presentation at the International Space Agency when the room darkened. Instead of panicking, she walked to the window, adjusted her glasses, and pulled out her tablet. "Everyone," she announced to her colleagues, "this is an unprecedented opportunity for data collection." Within minutes, she had organized her team into research groups. Some focused on atmospheric displacement readings, others on gravitational field variations, and a few enterprising interns began calculating the energy requirements for hovering ships of that size. The extraction's first broadcast cut across all frequencies, their message designed to instill terror. Beings of Earth, witness the might of the Extraction Empire, conquerors of 10,000 worlds. Your resistance is futile. Your technology is primitive. Your existence is inconsequential. Professor Jin Park, who had been enjoying his morning coffee at a rooftop cafe in Seoul, simply pulled out his phone and started live streaming. Notice the fascinating biomechanical integration in their hull design. He commented, zooming in on the nearest ship. The organic curves suggest an advanced understanding of fluid dynamics, even in space. Absolutely brilliant. His stream quickly went viral, with architects and engineers from around the world joining in to discuss the vessel's remarkable features. #spaceship architecture began trending globally, accompanied by detailed technical analyses and artistic interpretations. The Extraction High Command, monitoring Earth's communications from their flagship, found themselves increasingly confused. Their psychological warfare experts had predicted mass hysteria, not impromptu academic discussions about their ship's structural efficiency. They deployed their second phase, a demonstration of their planet-cracking weapon on a nearby asteroid. The beam of energy that shot from their flagship was visible from Earth, splitting the cosmic rock into perfect halves. Dr. Santos' team immediately began calculating the energy output. 3 PhD students started a heated debate about the weapon's possible applications for clean energy production. Someone in the break room suggested it might help with space debris cleanup. Meanwhile, in Mumbai, a group of engineering students led by Ravi Mehta had already created a simulation game called Asteroid Splitter, inspired by the demonstration. It reached 50,000 downloads in the first hour. The Extraction commander, Xfall, watched the situation unfold with growing concern. According to their Conquest playbook, humanity should have been cowering in fear by now. Instead, #Asteroid Splitter was trending alongside debates about potential applications for their technology. "Perhaps we should proceed to the terror beasts," suggested his second-in-command. Xthal studied the screens showing Earth's major cities. In New York, a food truck was selling Alien Invasion special hot dogs. In Rio de Janeiro, street artists were already incorporating the ship's designs into their murals. In Shanghai, someone had organized an impromptu end-of-the-world concert beneath the shadow of their vessel, complete with glow sticks and dance music. "Send in the preliminary scout units first," Xthal ordered. Something about these humans isn't following the standard pattern. As the small scout ships descended toward Earth, Dr. Santos and her team were already preparing welcome packages containing scientific journals, research proposals, and an invitation to an emergency international symposium on interstellar technological exchange. The Day of Unexpected Smiles, as it would later be known, marked humanity's first step into a wider galaxy. Not with fear or submission, but with curiosity, enthusiasm, and a peculiar ability to turn cosmic terror into an opportunity for learning, and perhaps a bit of entertainment along the way. The Extractions released their bioengineered horror beasts at dawn in Rio de Janeiro. The creatures, designed by the Empire's top xenobiologists to trigger primal fears, emerged from their containment pods in a shower of bioluminescent mist. They stood 3 meters tall, with multiple rows of eyes, crystalline claws, and bodies that seemed to shift between solid and liquid states. Miguel Rodriguez was enjoying his morning jog along Copacabana Beach when the first creature materialized nearby. Instead of running away, he pulled out his phone and opened his field journal app. "Fascinating adaptation," he muttered, noting how the creature's semi-liquid form rippled in the morning breeze. "The biological implications are extraordinary." Within hours, the renowned zoologist had assembled an impromptu research team. They set up observation posts around the city, complete with high-speed cameras and scanning equipment borrowed from the local university's biology department. Commander Yuki Tanaka of the Global Defense Force arrived expecting to coordinate an evacuation. Instead, she found herself helping Rodriguez's team set up containment areas that looked suspiciously like wildlife preserves. "These beings are clearly sentient," she observed, watching a horror beast delicately manipulate a puzzle box someone had offered it. "We have a responsibility to ensure their welfare while they're on Earth." The extrathraxian observers were particularly disturbed when a group of Brazilian children began naming the creatures. The most terrifying of the batch, specifically engineered to inspire madness in lesser species, was dubbed Pudding due to its wobbling movement. "The human young appear to be entertaining themselves," reported a bewildered Zixthraxian scout. Indeed, the children had discovered that the horror beasts would chase laser pointers, much like Earth cats. In Sao Paulo, a marine biologist named Lucas Pereira noticed something unexpected. The creatures, despite their fearsome appearance, showed remarkable problem-solving abilities and a gentle curiosity about their environment. He began documenting their behavior patterns, noting striking similarities to Earth's more intelligent species. "They're not so different from dolphins or elephants," Pereira explained during a hastily organized TED talk that was streaming globally. "They display complex social behaviors, use tools, and appear to communicate through both bioluminescent signals and subsonic frequencies." The situation took an even more unexpected turn when Dr. Nina Patel, a veterinarian from Mumbai, who happened to be in Rio for a conference, discovered that the horror beasts responded positively to classical music. A video of one creature swaying peacefully to Bach's Cello Suite No. 1 went viral across social media platforms. Back on their command ship, the Zixthraxian leadership watched in mounting confusion as humans began establishing feeding stations for their terror weapons. Someone had even started a Twitter account called Daily Horror Beast Facts, sharing endearing observations about the creature's habits and personalities. "They're treating our ultimate bioweapons like exotic pets," Stoll remarked incredulously to his science officer. The final blow to their psychological warfare strategy came when Commander Tanaka successfully proposed classifying the horror beasts as an endangered species. "Given their unique biological makeup and limited population, it's our duty to protect these remarkable visitors," she announced at a press conference. By sunset, Rio de Janeiro had transformed into an impromptu cynozoological research center. The horror beasts, now sporting colorful names and tracking collars, were being studied by scientists from around the world. Graduate students competed for observation slots, while conservation groups began drafting protection guidelines. Miguel Rodriguez's preliminary paper, Behavioral Patterns of Extraterrestrial Bioengineered Entities in Urban Environments, was already gathering attention in academic circles. His conclusion that the creatures showed signs of playfulness and social bonding particularly frustrated the Zixthraxian Biological Warfare Division. The day ended with an unexpected breakthrough. A horror beast, now named Jelinho by local residents, began mimicking human speech patterns. Its first documented word was friend, which it pronounced with a curious mixture of subsonic vibrations and bioluminescent pulses. The Zixthraxians' most fearsome weapons had, in less than 24 hours, become the subject of scientific fascination, conservation efforts, and countless endearing social media posts. Humanity had once again demonstrated its unique ability to find wonder in what was meant to inspire terror. Lee Min-ho was in the middle of editing his latest horror film when the Zexathraxians began their third phase of psychological warfare. As nightmare visions filled the skies above Seoul, the acclaimed director didn't flee or hide. Instead, he grabbed his camera and started filming. "The lighting is incredible," he commented to his cinematographer while recording the swirling vortex of cosmic horror above Namsan Tower. "And those color gradients. You can't get that kind of effect with CGI." The alien projections were designed to break the human spirit by showing them their worst fears. Instead, they had inadvertently provided Earth's creative community with unprecedented inspiration. Within hours, film crews across the globe were using the ethereal light shows as backdrops for everything from music videos to fashion shoots. Dr. Raj Patel's neurological research team at the Mumbai Institute of Technology made a groundbreaking discovery while studying the effects of the alien fear projections. The visions are actually triggering the same brain regions associated with aesthetic appreciation, he explained during an emergency broadcast. "They're not causing terror, they're stimulating our creativity." The Zexathraxian psychological warfare specialists watched in dismay as their carefully crafted horror scenarios were being incorporated into human entertainment. A K-pop group had already filmed a music video featuring their doomsday projections, complete with choreography that mimicked the movement of their terror beasts. In Hollywood, veteran special effects artist Thomas Reyes led a team analyzing the alien visual techniques. "Their understanding of light physics is revolutionary," he noted in a viral blog post. "But they could really use some help with pacing and emotional impact. It's all cosmic horror all the time. Where's the buildup?" The situation reached new levels of absurdity when popular streaming service Netflix commissioned a documentary series titled "Making Horror with Our New Neighbors." The show featured behind-the-scenes looks at how humans were adapting Zexathraxian fear technology for creative purposes. Lee Min-ho's subsequent decision to invite Zexathraxian representatives to a film industry panel discussion caused considerable confusion among the alien command. Their psychological warfare experts found themselves sitting on a stage alongside human directors, discussing visual storytelling techniques and the universal nature of fear as an art form. "Your species continues to perplex us," admitted Zakar, the lead fear projection engineer, during the panel. "These images are calibrated to induce madness in even the most resilient beings. That's exactly what makes them perfect for our summer blockbuster season," responded Lee with genuine enthusiasm. "Though we might need to tone down the existential dread for the family-friendly version." Meanwhile, Dr. Patel's research had progressed to practical applications. His team developed a method to modify the alien fear projections into therapeutic tools. "By adjusting the frequencies slightly, we can help people overcome their phobias," he explained. "It's revolutionary for exposure therapy." The Zexathraxians' confusion reached its peak when they discovered humans had started rating their horror projections on social media. Their most terrifying cosmic horror scenario, designed to drive viewers to the brink of sanity, received criticism for being a bit too derivative of Lovecraft and trying too hard. Amateur filmmakers began creating their own versions of alien fear projections using household items and clever lighting tricks. A teenager from Vancouver went viral with a tutorial on how to recreate Zexathraxian horror effects using a smartphone and common household items. By the end of the week, Lee Min-ho had not only completed his film, but had also signed an unprecedented co-production deal with the Zexathraxian Entertainment Division, a department they hadn't even known they needed until humans suggested it. The final blow to the psychological warfare campaign came when the Intergalactic Academy of Visual Arts nominated a collaborative human Zexathraxian short film for Most Innovative Use of Terror in a Coming-of-Age Story. What had begun as an attempt to break humanity's spirit through fear had somehow transformed into the galaxy's most unexpected artistic collaboration. The Zexathraxians were learning, Much to their bewilderment, the humans didn't just resist terror. They repackaged it, marketed it, and turned it into award-winning entertainment. This extraction's fourth phase of psychological warfare involved broadcasting visions of cosmic horror directly into Earth's networks. They expected to paralyze human communication systems. Instead, they accidentally launched a cultural renaissance. Celebrity chef Maria Gonzalez was in the middle of her popular cooking live stream when the cosmic horrors first appeared on her kitchen display. Rather than panic, she tilted her head thoughtfully at the writhing void creatures. "You know what?" she said to her audience. "Those tentacles remind me of octopus. Let's make some cosmic-inspired paella." Within hours, #Cosmic Cuisine was trending worldwide. Chefs across the globe began creating dishes inspired by the alien visions. The swirling void entities became chocolate galaxy mirrors on desserts. The many-eyed horrors transformed into decorative sushi rolls. The bottomless abyss inspired a new kind of layered black coffee drink. Tech entrepreneur Hiroshi Nakamura noticed something peculiar about the fear-inducing sounds accompanying the visions. "The frequencies follow a fascinating pattern," he observed. His team quickly developed an app that transformed the alien sound waves into ambient music. Cosmic horror lo-fi beats to study and relax to became an overnight sensation. Students particularly enjoyed how the transformed Extraction death screams helped them focus during late-night study sessions. The Extraction High Command watched in mounting disbelief as their most potent psychological weapons were being turned into entertainment content. Their confusion deepened when they discovered humans had started ranking their cosmic horrors based on aesthetic value and culinary inspiration potential. In Singapore, master bartender Jun Wei created an entire menu of cocktails based on the various cosmic entities. His Void Walker cocktail, which changed colors and appeared to contain a miniature galaxy, became so popular that even the Extraction Cultural Observation Team requested the recipe. "The key is understanding that fear and excitement are close cousins," explained Professor Helena Torres during a TED talk about the phenomenon. "Humans have always processed the unknown by incorporating it into our daily lives. We're not just adapting to cosmic horror, we're domesticating it." The situation took an unexpected turn when Miyamoto Studios, a renowned game developer, released a mobile app that let users interact with the cosmic horrors like virtual pets. Users could feed them stardust, teach them tricks, and dress them in tiny costumes. Back on their command ship, Exthol received an unusual report. Humans were now sending thank you notes to their psychological warfare department, expressing gratitude for all the amazing content and requesting more diverse cosmic horrors to inspire different artistic directions. The final straw came when food critic Liu Wei wrote a viral review comparing different regions' interpretations of cosmic horror cuisine. While New York's void-inspired bagels show promise, he wrote, "Tokyo's tentacle-based ramen really captures the existential essence of the eternal abyss." Hiroshi's app had evolved to include a feature where users could remix Extraction terror broadcasts into custom music tracks. A particularly catchy mix of interdimensional screams and void whispers topped the global charts for 3 weeks straight. The Extraction Cultural Assessment Team was forced to create an entirely new category for human psychological responses. They labeled it aggressive appreciation, the unique human ability to enthusiastically embrace and repurpose anything intended to terrify them. Maria Gonzalez's cooking show gained an unexpected viewer demographic, actual Extraction warriors, who began tuning in to see how their fearsome projections would be transformed into edible art. Several requested cooking lessons, curious about how their psychological warfare had inspired such culinary creativity. As the fourth phase drew to a close, the Extraction High Command faced an unprecedented situation. Their most sophisticated terror technology had somehow sparked a human creative revolution. Restaurants across Earth were serving cosmic horror tasting menus, while teenagers danced to remixed void screams at parties. What was meant to be a demonstration of overwhelming alien might had instead become Earth's hottest new cultural export. The Xyxathraxians were learning that in the face of cosmic horror, humans didn't just endure. They created, innovated, and sometimes even added a dash of seasoning. Junior Xyxathraxian researcher Kex slouched in their observation pod, surrounded by holographic displays of human activities. Their assignment had seemed simple: study human fear responses. Instead, they found themselves documenting what appeared to be a species-wide immunity to cosmic terror. Professor Anna Liu from the Department of Anthropology at Berkeley had noticed the peculiar Xyxathraxian pod hovering near campus. Instead of reporting it, she left out a welcome basket containing textbooks on human history, psychology, and a handwritten note inviting academic collaboration. "Most fascinating," Kix muttered, tentacles gently turning pages of A Complete History of Human Resilience. The researcher had begun to notice patterns that their superiors seemed to be missing entirely. Meanwhile, in the Xyxathraxian flagship's research division, Kix began compiling their findings. Humans evolved on what they themselves classify as a death world. They wrote in their report, "Their planet regularly tries to eliminate them through natural disasters, climate shifts, and aggressive wildlife. They responded by developing technology, art, and spicy food." Professor Liu had started receiving messages from Kix, leading to the galaxy's first cross-species research partnership. Their joint paper, "Laughing in the Face of the Void: Human Psychological Adaptation Mechanisms," was causing quite a stir in both human and Xyxathraxian academic circles. "Consider their entertainment," Kix explained during a secretly organized academic conference. "Humans created horror stories for fun long before meeting actual cosmic horrors. They literally invented their own terror as a form of recreational activity." The evidence was compelling. Kix and Professor Liu had compiled thousands of examples spanning human history: cave paintings showing humans hunting massive predators, ancient texts describing heroes facing monsters, modern movies where humans defeated everything from aliens to zombies. They prepare themselves through simulation, Kix theorized, displaying images of human children playing monster fighting games. Each generation practices confronting horror through structured play and storytelling. The breakthrough came when they analyzed human literature. Every catastrophe in their history, Kix noted, has corresponding art, music, and scientific advancement. When their cities burned, they wrote poetry about fire safety. When plagues struck, they developed medicine and dark humor simultaneously. Professor Liu contributed her own observations. "We've been cataloging human responses to various Xyxathraxian fear tactics. The pattern is consistent: initial surprise, followed by curiosity, then rapid adaptation and creative integration." Their research revealed something the Xyxathraxian military had overlooked. Humans didn't just survive terror. They consumed it, processed it, and transformed it into progress. Every attempt to frighten humanity had instead provided them with new opportunities for growth. Kix's superior officers were particularly disturbed by their analysis of human children. "The young ones appear to be especially resistant," they reported. "They transform our most horrifying projections into games, stories, and educational tools with remarkable speed." The researcher compiled a database of human idioms about facing fear: looking fear in the eye, staring into the abyss, dancing with death. Each phrase revealed a species that had evolved to meet terror head-on, often with a notebook in hand and a camera ready. Professor Liu shared historical records of how humans had repeatedly faced extinction-level events with not just determination, but innovation. Each crisis, she explained, becomes a catalyst for advancement. "It's not that we're fearless. We've just learned to use fear as fuel." Kix's final report to the Xyxathraxian High Command included an unprecedented recommendation: perhaps we should be studying them instead of trying to conquer them. Their method of processing cosmic horror through scientific inquiry and artistic expression suggests a psychological resilience we've never encountered before. The report concluded with an observation that made many Zexathraxian officials deeply uncomfortable. In attempting to study human fear responses, we have instead documented a species that turns terror into progress, horror into art, and cosmic dread into dinner party conversation topics. They don't defeat fear, they domesticate it. As Kex and Professor Liu continued their research, they had unknowingly sparked a revolution in Zexathraxian military thinking. For the first time in their conquest history, the Empire had to consider a troubling question. How do you intimidate a species that responds to cosmic horror by asking it to pose for selfies? The Zexathraxian Empire faced an unprecedented crisis. Their youth were rebelling, not with violence or protests, but with human pop culture, dance moves, and an alarming tendency to treat terrifying things as cute. It started when Olympic gymnast Carlos Rodriguez posted a video teaching Zexathraxian warriors his victory dance. The aliens, whose traditional celebration involved intimidating roars and fear displays, found themselves oddly drawn to the humans' rhythmic movements and genuine joy. The movements serve no tactical purpose, complained General Stack during an emergency council meeting. Yet our troops spend their rest cycles attempting to perfect something called the backflip. The general's presentation was interrupted by muffled dance music from the adjacent training facility. The situation escalated when teenage artist Kim Minji's blog about reimagining cosmic horrors as adorable creatures went viral across Zexathraxian space. Young aliens began drawing cute faces on their battle armor and adding colorful accessories to their fear projection devices. Look how the eternal void of darkness sparkles with these stickers, one young Zexathraxian warrior exclaimed, showing off their modified terror helm. The Empire's Psychological Warfare Division submitted a formal complaint about the increasing number of troops requesting more kawaii design options for their horror beasts. Meanwhile, human social media influencer Javier Morales had begun a series of tutorial videos on how to make friends with cosmic entities. His gentle approach to interacting with interdimensional horrors attracted millions of followers, including, to the High Command's dismay, nearly half their junior officer corps. The Empire's Cultural Preservation Committee watched in horror as their young ones embraced human concepts like fun, chill, and hanging out. Traditional fear meditation sessions were being replaced by something called yoga with cosmic horror pets. Professional athlete Lisa Chen caused further disruption by introducing competitive sports to the Zexathraxian battle fleets. Soon, warships were organizing zero-gravity basketball tournaments, with teams using their ability to manipulate terror energy to create spectacular light shows during dunks. Our mighty empire spans 10,000 worlds, lamented High Commander Exthal, watching security footage of junior officers teaching their horror beasts to do tricks for treats. How have we been so thoroughly undermined by human wholesomeness? The breaking point came when a group of young Zexathraxians, led by Junior Commander Kalax, submitted a proposal to rebrand their invasion fleet as a cultural exchange program. They included a PowerPoint presentation with animated transitions and cute emoji. Traditional Zexathraxian music, designed to induce existential dread, was being remixed with human pop songs. Terror Hop became the hottest new genre across 3 spiral arms of the galaxy. Even the eldest horror beasts were caught bobbing their numerous heads to the beats. In the meal halls, young Zexathraxians began experimenting with human cuisine. Traditional fear essence supplements were pushed aside in favor of something called fusion tacos. The kitchen staff received countless requests to make the void black food more Instagram-worthy. Professor Takeshi Yamamoto, studying this unprecedented cultural exchange, noted, the Zexathraxians expected to influence Earth through fear. Instead, Earth is influencing them through joy. It's a remarkable demonstration of soft power. The Empire's attempt to restrict human cultural content only backfired. Underground viewing parties for human sitcoms became popular among the crew. Senior officers discovered their subordinates using Earth slang during official communications and ending serious tactical reports with lol. Young Zexthraxian scientists, inspired by human research methods, began approaching their own cosmic horrors with curiosity rather than reverence. They started asking questions that made their elders deeply uncomfortable, like, why do we actually need to be terrifying? And have we tried just being nice? As the sixth week of the invasion attempt drew to a close, the Zexthraxian High Command faced an impossible situation. Their perfectly engineered invasion force had been transformed by human influence. Warriors were posting dancing videos, horror beasts were wearing bow ties, and someone had started a ship-wide book club. The empire that had conquered worlds through fear found itself being peacefully conquered by human creativity, warmth, and the inexplicable ability to find joy in the face of cosmic horror. As one young Zexthraxian officer put it in their viral social media post, maybe the real conquest was the friends we made along the way. #BlessDuITheVoid #HumanityIsLit. The Zexthraxian High Command decided to unveil their ultimate truth. In a synchronized display across Earth's skies, they shed their physical forms. Billions of humans watched as their supposed conquerors transformed into beings of pure energy, each capable of inhabiting 1,000 bodies simultaneously. Dr. Diego Ramirez was in the middle of a quantum physics lecture when the transformation occurred. He paused mid-equation, stared at the swirling lights outside the window, and immediately began sketching new theoretical models on his whiteboard. "The implications for quantum entanglement are extraordinary," he exclaimed, his students already pulling out their tablets to take notes. Their ability to maintain consciousness across multiple physical manifestations could revolutionize our understanding of quantum coherence. In Shanghai, engineering student Mai Wang had already started running calculations. If we could understand how they convert matter to energy with such precision, she mused during an impromptu livestream, we might solve Earth's energy crisis overnight. The Zexthraxians had expected their reveal to shatter human confidence. Instead, they found themselves bombarded with research proposals, collaboration requests, and particularly persistent graduate students seeking thesis topics. "Your energy conversion efficiency is remarkable," commented Professor Tanaka during an emergency scientific summit. "Have you considered applications in sustainable power generation?" Several Zexthraxian scientists shifted uncomfortably as human researchers pulled out detailed questionnaires. At the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, a team led by Dr. Rodriguez had begun mapping the quantum fluctuations of Zexthraxian energy patterns. Their preliminary paper, Applications of Multidimensional Consciousness in Clean Energy Production, was already generating buzz in both scientific and environmental circles. The Zexthraxian observers watched in mounting confusion as humans treated their most closely guarded biological secret as an exciting research opportunity. Their transformation, meant to inspire existential terror, had instead sparked a renewable energy revolution. Young physicist Lin Wei organized a conference titled Practical Applications of Energy Being Physics in Modern Society. To the Zexthraxians' surprise, the topics ranged from quantum computing to improving public transportation. "Consider the possibilities," Dr. Martinez explained during his keynote speech. Their ability to distribute consciousness across multiple energy states could transform everything from data storage to neural network design. Also, they look fantastic in photographs. The situation reached new levels of absurdity when a Silicon Valley startup began developing an app to help humans communicate with energy beings more efficiently. Their beta testing included a feature that could translate human emotions into quantum vibrations compatible with Zexthraxian consciousness. Back on their command ship, the High Command received an unusually thick stack of non-disclosure agreements from human patent offices. Apparently, several research institutions wanted to ensure proper credit attribution for any technological breakthroughs resulting from studying their energy forms. Master physicist Chen had already submitted a proposal for using Zexthraxian energy manipulation techniques to improve quantum teleportation. His presentation included a section on potential applications in interstellar travel, complete with cost-benefit analyses and environmental impact studies. His extractions' confusion peaked when they discovered humans had started incorporating their energy patterns into art installations. A gallery in New York featured a piece titled Quantum Consciousness in Motion, where visitors could interact with light displays inspired by his extraction transformations. Dr. Ramirez's team made another breakthrough when they identified the mathematical patterns underlying the energy being's form shifts. It's essentially a quantum dance, he explained during a TED talk. One that could revolutionize our approach to particle physics and possibly interpretive dance. As the seventh phase of their invasion attempt drew to a close, the Extraction High Command faced an uncomfortable realization. Their greatest biological secret, revealed to crush human spirits, had instead inspired a new age of human scientific advancement. Young human scientists were now approaching them with increasingly sophisticated questions about quantum mechanics and consciousness transfer. Several Extraction researchers found themselves actually enjoying these exchanges, much to their superiors' dismay. What was meant to be a demonstration of overwhelming alien superiority had become a collaborative research opportunity. The Extractions were learning that humans didn't just adapt to new paradigms, they turned them into progress, and possibly a sustainable energy source for their electric cars. The Extraction High Command called an emergency session to address what they now termed the human situation. Their warships still loomed over Earth's cities, but somehow they had lost control of the narrative. More importantly, they had lost control of their own species' enthusiasm for human culture. Senior anthropologist Sofia Torres found herself in an unprecedented position, giving a presentation to both human and Extraction leadership about the success of cross-species cultural integration. Her slides included pictures of horror beasts playing fetch in parks and energy beings participating in quantum physics experiments. We propose rebranding the invasion as the galaxy's most successful cultural exchange program, she suggested, clicking to a slide showing statistics on collaborative scientific breakthroughs and interspecies friendship formations. These Extraction representatives shifted uncomfortably in their seats, particularly when she displayed the merchandising revenue projections. In Singapore, construction began on the first Intergalactic Cultural Center under the joint supervision of human and Extraction architects. The design somehow managed to be both terrifying and welcoming, featuring spaces for both cosmic horror meditation and casual coffee meetings. Professor Tequita, leading the Diplomatic Relations Committee, worked with former invasion commander Exfal to develop new protocols for interspecies communication. We found that adding emoji to formal diplomatic messages reduced terror-based misunderstandings by 80%, he reported during the inaugural conference. Young Extractions had started applying to Earth universities, particularly interested in programs combining arts and sciences. Meanwhile, human students competed for spots in newly established quantum consciousness studies programs on Extraction worlds. The horror beasts, now officially classified as multi-dimensional companion entities, had their own Instagram accounts. Several had become influential pet influencers, promoting both cosmic awareness and responsible interdimensional pet ownership. Dr. Patel's research team published groundbreaking papers on the therapeutic applications of controlled cosmic horror exposure. It turns out that facing an actual void entity in a supportive environment does wonders for treating everyday anxiety, he explained during a joint Humans Extraction medical conference. The Extraction Military Academy underwent significant reforms, adding courses like alternative applications of terror energy and cross-cultural appreciation, beyond fear-based diplomacy. Their traditional fear meditation sessions now included optional yoga and mindfulness components. In the newly established Quantum Exchange District, human chefs worked alongside Extraction nutritionists to develop cuisine suitable for both species. The resulting fusion restaurants became so popular that reservations had to be made across multiple dimensional planes. Master Chen's quantum dance studio attracted students from both species, teaching them to harmonize their energy frequencies through movement. It's all about finding the rhythm between terror and joy, he explained, while a group of energy beings practiced their choreography. The Thraxian High Command officially designated Earth as the world of unexpected reactions in their galactic database. The entry included a warning: approach with an open mind. Traditional conquest techniques not applicable. High probability of being invited to dinner. Professor Liu's Comparative Cultural Studies program became the most subscribed course in both human and Thraxian educational systems. Her lectures on the evolution of interspecies meme culture regularly crashed streaming servers across multiple galaxies. As the former invasion fleet prepared to depart Earth's orbit, they left behind not conquest but connection. Exchange programs were established, research partnerships were formalized, and dozens of horror beasts had already applied for permanent Earth residence permits. The final ceremony marking the official transition from invasion to cultural exchange program featured both human and Thraxian entertainment. Energy beings performed quantum light shows while human dancers interpreted cosmic horror through contemporary ballet. Even the horror beasts participated, having mastered the art of synchronized swimming. In the end, the Thraxian Empire had to create an entirely new category in their conquest records. Earth became the first planet to defeat an invasion not through resistance or submission, but through enthusiastic integration and genuinely constructive feedback. As one young Thraxian diplomat noted in their final report, "We came to show humans their insignificance in the cosmic order. Instead, they showed us that significance isn't about size or power. It's about the ability to look into the abyss, smile, and ask it if it would like to collaborate on a research paper."